Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Network, and we're down in Romeo at Dispo. We're hanging out here. We'll be here all day, and I think all shows are pretty much down here today. So please stop by if you're in the area. If you're not, you need cannabis, make the drive. Come to Dispo and Romeo. They got the best of the best. We're here hanging out. Me, Sam Flannel, JB, Kenji, even Brady, the sales guy. He's hanging with us as well. Hope everyone's having a great morning. We're going to be doing a lot of Lions-Broncos previews today. I know tomorrow, the pregame show, of course, we'll be breaking it down more in depth. But today is Friday, and you guys know what we do on Fridays. We preview the game, we go into the details, and we give the path to victory for the Lions. Sam Flannel, how you doing this morning?
Always a good day at Dispo. I came in probably a little bit later than I would like to have. You know, we had a few things setting up that we had to kind of take back and everything, but it's all well and good. We're at Dispo, and they were playing some of the bangers before the show, so it got me hype, and I am just always happy to be at Dispo.
Yeah, they had, J. Cole, Kid Cudi, Travis Scott. I don't know who has the aux in here, but I approve of it.
Yes.
Last night, I don't know if you watched, and I don't blame you if you didn't. Whatever the hell that was on primetime. Not just primetime, Amazon Prime, which people actually sometimes will pay for to watch the NFL. Sometimes people just have Prime to tune in, which if you have Prime already, that's a good move. Because last night, I don't know what the hell happened. I think the over-under, I'm not an expert on this, Sam, but I'm pretty sure it was an 84.
No, I think it was like 34, honestly.
84 total points scored last night. The Raiders scored 63, led by Aiden O'Connell. Very fine Big Ten quarterback.
Very fine Big Ten quarterback.
Had a hell of a game. It was the battle of technically the backups, but Aiden O'Connell's now the starter. So, that game was disgusting. Brandon Staley, the fact that he has a job right now, there's only 32 jobs in the NFL, and Brandon Staley has one of them. Think about that for a second. Just let that sink in.
I understand that there's a very, very good chance that he's going to end up being fired at the end of the year. But I joke about this a lot. But Brandon Staley should be fired on the field. He should have been gone. He should have been launched out of a cannon. He should have not even been allowed to – I guess he should have not been allowed to travel with the team back to Los Angeles. It was just an absolute shit show. And that's the type of game, to me, that is further evidence that Justin Herbert has just been in hell his entire time in Los Angeles. Get this man a real coach, because with a real coach, Justin Herbert can be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. That was my main takeaway from that game.
If I'm the Chargers owner, I'm making Staley drive an Uber 4 hours back to L.A. That man 100%. Is not getting on the team plane. Whatever the hell that – he's supposed to be a defensive-minded head coach. Gave up 63 to an offense led by Aiden O'Connell.
Led by Aiden O'Connell. And their lead running back was Zamir White.
Yes, which is even worse. But this is the same team that couldn't score last week against the Vikings.
Scored 0 points. If I'm a Raiders fan, I'm thinking, man, could we have used at least 10 of those 63 points and maybe split it up a little bit against the Minnesota Vikings? But that is crazy. It's such an indictment. A week ago, the Raiders lost 3-0, and then if you're the Chargers, you gave up 42-0 after the end of the first half. And it's funny, my wife isn't even a football fan, but I told her, hey, you know what's the craziest score? 42-0 at halftime, and she was just like, "Dear God!" So that's saying something at that point. It was just an absolute beatdown.
Does it speak kind of volumes of how good the Vikings defense has been? I'm not saying that Aiden O'Connell's a world beater, but the Chargers didn't have Joey Bosa, but still. They had Derwin James. They had Asante Samuel Jr. They're one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL, but they still got some talent. He gave up 63 to Aiden O'Connell.
Not to mention Khalil Mack.
And Khalil Mack.
Best of them all.
And he is a hell of a player, but still, that Vikings defense, man, it's shut down this same offense. So it is interesting. Welcome to the show. Brad, Hendricks, the game broadcast and score were just AI. You have a point there, Brad. You do. Phil says flannel Jeff and Juicy Sam. There you go. Yeah, I'm wearing the flannel today, Phil. So me and Sam swapped places.
You did.
Here we go. Matt says, I love his interview saying he was going to coach the defense, 63 points up by the defense. Yeah, he did say that. He took offense to that if he's still calling plays on defense, and he is. Big M says Chargers are cheeks without Herbert. Well, the thing is, Herbert doesn't play defense, so even if he played, they still would have given up 63. Now, a lot of those turnovers, though, that the Chargers offense had maybe wouldn't have happened, but regardless, it ain't Herbert's fault. He was out of the game, but that defense let up 63. Let's see. Funky says Staley should have been fired in the locker room at halftime.
100%,
I agree with that.
100%.
Dante says Brandon Staley needs to get canned. Jason Wright says those games make me want to cancel Amazon Prime. Yeah,
it's fair.
Yeah, no, I'm with you guys. I want to spend a couple minutes on that because it is just. I tuned into the first quarter, and it was a little back and forth. And as soon as I tuned out, they were up 21-0. I checked back in the game, and like you said, they're up 42-0. And I go, okay, well, this is over. And then I checked this morning, and they scored 63. So, Jesus. All right.
That is why, instead of Thursday Night Football, you tune into Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Yeah. That product is 100%
Nick,
better than whatever the hell we saw last night.
Absolutely. And I actually did flip back and forth a little bit. I did a little bit of Woodward Nights, and I watched a little bit of the game, but it was just not even worth it after a while. It was an absolute clown show. And how about Easton Stick? That is not a real name, by the way. Easton Stick sounds like it was generated in a lab or something like that. But if you're Stick, like Sam Stick Day, you're probably thinking, man, this must be what it feels like if I were to be announced into the NFL.
That's free promotion right there. That's what that is. And, again, Freddie fell 313. Jeff saved some edibles for Maz. We'll see. Maybe we can convince Maz to do an edible today. You never know. I mean, at Dispo, things get, things are different. Look at Maz, never does edibles. Comes to Dispo, he does an edible. Things change.
Still can't believe that happened.
I want to bring this clip up in a little bit here. It's the Amon-Ra St. Brown speaking to the media. We have some clips of that. And, he talked to Broder and talked to some other beat reporters, and he spoke kind of on the game he had against Chicago. And not only that, Sam, but he was kind of quiet in the game against New Orleans. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, a player that we're looking to bounce back this week. And trust me, I think if we're talking about players that, need to, quote, bounce back, I think the last guy I'm worried about is Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah,
I think I'm pretty sure hard work is his middle name on his birth certificate. Like, this is the man whose father believes in drinking spit, not water, when you're tired during a workout.
Yeah.
Like, he's cut from a different cloth. He'll be fine. I'm not worried about Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Well, that's the thing. Amon-Ra St. Brown, despite his struggles the last couple of games, even though in the New Orleans one he did catch a touchdown and he did impact winning, despite all of his struggles, he's still 8th in the NFL in receiving yards despite missing a game.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of those guys. I think he's already been established as a guy no matter what the situation, no matter what happens, even if Jared Goff were to go down, knock on wood, I'm just taking worst case scenario, that Amon-Ra St. Brown would still put up numbers. Even though he struggled the last couple of games to some extent, certainly at Chicago, Amon-Ra St. Brown is still going to put up 1,400 yards. He's still probably going to be vying for a second-team All-Pro, although that's taken a little bit of a hit with the last couple of games. But the point is that Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be fine. He's going to be a guy that I think puts up 1,000-yard seasons for the next half-decade at least, no doubt about it.
It is the offensive struggles isn't just on St. Brown. I want to make that very clear.
100%.
I mean, you go to, Jared Goff, let's start with him, which we're going to talk about Jared Goff a little later in the show as well, because, again, this is a team that's number one in takeaways in the Broncos.
Yeah.
So a quarterback that has 8 turnovers in the last 4 games, the spotlight's on him. The other thing is the offensive line, which are probably going to get back 100% healthy. No, not 100% healthy, but they're going to be back. Now, in terms of how healthy they are, debatable. But they'll at least be on the field. They're expected to be on the field. So that's good news. So don't worry. We'll get to Goff. We'll get to the offensive line. We'll get to the other stuff later. But I want to talk about Amon-Ra because he's motivated. This offense is motivated. And I do think some of that's on Ben Johnson, too. I'm not going to lie to you. And I love Ben. But a lot of it, they got to get back to what they do best. They have to get back to their identity, which is running the football. It is what it is. Let's go to break here. When we get back, we'll get into start previewing the game because I do want to get into it. The keys to victory for the Detroit Lions, what do they have to do, and what can they not do or can't afford to do to win this football game on Saturday night? We'll do that right after the break. But first, we got to hear about our friends from Lady Jane's.
Absolutely. Lady Jane's, where I get these A-plus haircuts from the A-plus stylist. I would still go today if I needed one, even though I'd have to drive from Romeo. That's how good they always get me freshened up when I go there. And you can come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expense spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
And let me tell you about our friends over at Jack Labrador, our new sponsor. And guys, if you're looking for a game to play, maybe you got some buddies, you want to play a drinking game, you need a stocking stuffer, Jack Labrador is the perfect game. We tried this out the other day. We played amongst coworkers, and I'll tell you what, it was a lot of fun. Never tried it. Listen, we played rock, paper, scissors as a kid. Some would call it paper, scissors, rock, which that's incorrect. Just to let you know, it's rock, paper, scissors. Jack Labrador is a similar concept, but more. It's a lot of fun. It's in-your-face, heads-up play that'll have you on the edge of your seat. It's the one deck that brings 3 games to the table, perfect for lazy, last-minute shoppers, of course. And it's the ultimate gift to keep the holiday going. Scan the QR code above or go to www.jacklabrador.com to get your decks today.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand it out for more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford has been doing by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford, Dearborn today. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com. We're back. I don't know if you can hear Riri in the background. That's how our morning's starting. So we're here. Is that Kendrick too? I swear, they're just mixing it up today. Who's ever on the aux and Dispo, I appreciate you. We're here. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. If you do me a favor, hit the like button on the stream. It helps us, helps the network, helps puts the show out for all new listeners, and we appreciate you guys for watching. Let's get into it. Some of the, not takeaways, we're going to do that on Monday. Some of the keys to victory for the Detroit Lions. And I guess I'll start, Sam Flannel, because we went through it yesterday, and you so eloquently talked about the run defense for the Broncos there. Last in the NFL. Everyone knows that. It's, I think, the biggest matchup of the game is this run game against the Broncos. That's it right there. It's not about Jared airing it out to J-Mo against the defense that's number 1 in takeaways. This is going to be a big day for the run game, I think. I do. This is a run game that has been bailed on the last couple of games, and on top of that, you got a guy in Ben Johnson, Jared Goff, and an offensive line. They're all pissed off, and they want to get back to their true identity, which is running the football. And what's a better matchup than facing a run defense that's last in the NFL? And people would say, well, Jeff, they've been playing a lot better over the last couple of weeks. Yes. 2 things this defense is very good at for the Broncos. Third down defense and takeaways, hence why they have low-scoring games. It's not the yards. They're giving up a crap ton of yards, Sam Flannel. But it's truly the takeaways in the third down defense. And the Lions over the last couple of weeks have been better on third down, not last week, but at least during this stretch of games. Ben Johnson kind of talked about it. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, the Broncos are number 1 in takeaways, and half of them are forced fumbles. So it's not just interceptions. They take the football away. Jared Goff, starting quarterback, has 8 turnovers in the last 4 games. So, again, it's a perfect week to correct that. It just is. This is a team that's going to test you. You're at home. It's Saturday. It's prime time. Like, despite what we think of Goff in terms of ceiling, because I've spoke on that, and listen, I'm a big Hendon Hooker guy, I wouldn't extend Goff. I don't think he's a guy you can win because of, and everyone knows that. That's not a shot. There's a lot of quarterbacks in this league you can't win because of, and that's what every team should be chasing. Now, for Goff, he's shown in Detroit, for at least the majority of the time he's been here, Sam Flannel, that he could take care of the football. Now, Goff's career, he struggled taking care of the football, but in Detroit, for the better part of his career in Detroit, he has shown that. I mean, he had the record for the most consecutive pass attempts. He was chasing Tom Brady, I believe, and Aaron Rodgers. I could be wrong on that. I believe it was Aaron Rodgers, definitely up there. But he was in that atmosphere. So for Jared, he was on a pretty good run there. And I would hope to believe that he can correct it this week. Because if he does not, that is not good. And we know the both turnovers last week, they were on 4th down. You could talk about them all you want. It's not even about the turnovers for me. Jared just isn't playing well. It's not just the turnovers. He just doesn't look like the confident Jared Goff we've seen early in the season and the end of last year. And then you got a quarterback in Russell Wilson who we can spend all day making fun of, Sam Flannel, but he's playing with confidence right now.
Sure.
So in terms of this offense, they got to run the football. They got to get back to what their identity is. You get a full offensive line back healthy. You get the 5 guys you want out there. You got Jahmyr Gibbs, and I think Jahmyr Gibbs and JB, if you have that graphic of Jahmyr Gibbs, you could put it up because Jahmyr Gibbs and what he's been doing, he is, I believe, first in 20-plus yard gains. I think that was the stat there. Yes, leads the NFL with 8 rushes of 20-plus yards, the most by a Lion since running back Kevin Smith in 2008. This dude is a playmaker, and I do believe on Saturday, here's another big game incoming. Yeah, truly, I believe that. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is starting to kind of get fully comfortable and adjusted to the NFL, and I think Saturday is going to be a big day for those guys on the ground. And, Sam, they have to have a big day because if you want to kind of take the pressure off of Goff, this is what has to happen. You have to dominate the ground game, control time of possession, and keep your defense off the field, and for once, not put them in compromising positions. Don't turn the ball over and give this offense a short field, the Denver Broncos offense. So to me, Sam Flannel, big day on the ground, and I think Jared Goff this week, I have confidence he can correct this turnover issue, but we shall see.
Well, the
pressure's on.
It's a question of something's got to give because we talked about it yesterday. You just talked about it right now. The Broncos have the worst running defense by the numbers in the NFL, and I know a lot of people want to talk about the beginning of the year, the Dolphins game, but as I said, they have given up some games recently to the Bills and the Vikings that were also bad against rushing offenses that are not nearly as good as the Lions. So if the Lions can get it going on the ground, maybe rush for at the very least $150, I think they probably win, and I think this is the type of game where maybe they can even go for 200 on the ground, and that will not only keep their offense on the field, keep the clock moving, keep everything running smoothly, it'll also make it exponentially more likely that Jared Goff doesn't turn the football over because they're not going to rely on him. They're not going to have a type of offense where the defense can just kind of pin their ears back and everything. The Lions won't have as many obvious passing situations. So if they can get the run game going, if they can run for at least $150, maybe 200, I think they are going to win this game as well. And if they run the football effectively, it could negate one of the things the Broncos do best, which is create turnovers, as we said. And I know that they force a lot of fumbles, which Jared Goff obviously has a little bit of a problem with that. But Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery really don't. So if the Lions can keep pounding the ball with them, I'm not worried about the Broncos forcing a fumble by either of those two. It's just that if the Lions can't take advantage of the Broncos' run defense, that is where they could get into a little bit of trouble because the Broncos I think they're tied for the NFL lead in takeaways. And the Lions, despite having a good year overall, have a -6 turnover differential. That is something that I don't think is sustainable if they want to continue to win games. And as we've mentioned ad nauseum, because it's all really anyone can talk about right now, Jared Goff has had a major turnover problem, at least in the last month. It's to the point where it's so glaring that a lot of us have went from feeling okay about him to almost borderline out about him. So that's all that really matters is if the Lions run the ball effectively and limit their turnovers, they will win. And also, one of the other things the Broncos don't do well, this is all complimentary, despite the fact that Russell Wilson is playing better, he's playing more efficient, the Broncos are a bottom 10 pass offense in the NFL. If you look at what Russell Wilson has a lot of games where he'll throw for like 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. So the reason why that's important is if the Lions can get a lead, take time off the clock, play from ahead the whole game, that'll force the Broncos to have to throw the football more than they probably are comfortable with. And maybe, just maybe, this is a get-right game for the Lions secondary because they need one more than I need oxygen right now. It's just, it would really help out this defense. So if the Lions do all of the things that I just mentioned well, I think they'll have no problem winning. But the Broncos are not a team that you can just overlook. They're a 7-6 team that are fighting for their division as well.
Yeah, and to your point, I mean, the game against Houston, the Broncos lost. Russell had 3 turnovers.
Yes.
Now, the problem there is they couldn't really run the football. So if you want a path to victory for at least the defense, number one, they can't go down early because if they go down early, this defense gives up, 10, 14 points in the first quarter, and the offense has 0, some problems are going to start to arise. You don't want to get down early, but the other thing is this defense has shown they're a good run defense.
Yes.
And you know what the Broncos want to do. They want to run the football. Kind of a similar game. I mean, these coaches, Dan Campbell, Sean Payton, they know each other very well. They have similar ideologies on how they want to run their offense. They want to run the football, take care of the football, get turnovers on defense. It's kind of a similar philosophy there. But if you can – Javonte Williams, if you can limit him and the Broncos struggle to run the football and you kind of force Russ to try and beat you, to your point, Sam, he hasn't really done that this year. Even though he's taking care of the football, he hasn't shown that he's the reason they're winning games. He's kind of just, again, similar to a Goff, but Goff's been kind of playing better at times. In terms of passing yards, you can win with them, but you're not always going to win because of Russ. So if this run defense can kind of keep up what they've been doing and you make Russ go downfield, take these shots to Sutton, it's on Kirby. It's on those guys in the back end to make plays. They got to turn this football over. Houston was able to do that. I believe their second-year corner, who is it? I'm blanking
Derek
out.
Stingley
Yes,
Jr.
Thank you. Derek Stingley out of
really
LSU.
He's had a resurgent second year.
He's had a hell of a year. He had 2
out.
interceptions in that game, and he made some plays. You're going to need somebody in the secondary to step up and make some plays here. And to go back to the offense for a second, we understand Jared Goff for him to have a clean game. It's also on this offensive line. They got to protect him. And Taylor Decker, whether he plays or not, assuming he does, he's dealing with a back injury, and he hasn't been playing well lately. So, again, Taylor's got to get back to the Taylor Decker we kind of know because a majority of the Broncos' sacks are coming from the outside linebacker position.
Yeah.
So they want to blitz, man. They want to send the house on you. And this offensive line, although on paper they're great, some guys have been struggling, and that's on Taylor Decker this week as well to keep that blind side for Jared Goff protected. Has to. Yeah,
and if you want some good news, if you're a Lions fan, and this is something that Matt Broder on Woodward Nights actually alerted me to, and I confirmed that it is true. The Denver Broncos' leading pass rusher, Nick Benito, is going to be out for this game. So that could be absolutely huge.
He has 7 sacks on the year.
7 sacks on the year. He's been a menace this season, but especially since if the Lions' offensive line is fully healthy, I know that Taylor Decker and Frank Ragnow aren't going to be 100%, but at the same time, any version of them, is particularly Frank Ragnow, is better than whatever they have behind them, like the backup offensive lineman. So if they have their full deck, I mean, I know Glasgow, Vitae, okay, whatever. But if they have their full deck and the Broncos do not have their full deck of pass rushers, this could be a game where Jared Goff does stay upright because as much as we want to crap on Jared Goff, and I think that has been very, very justified, he has not been protected lately as well as he was in the beginning of the season. And we all know that Jared Goff is one of those quarterbacks that I would say is uniquely very, very good and efficient when everything around him is perfect. And I'm not even saying that as a knock. He's just very smart, very accurate, makes good decisions and all of that. But if he's pressured, he turns into a pumpkin. But this is the type of game where there's a lot. I know anything can happen in an NFL game, but there's a lot of pieces, a lot of things that are happening that would lead me to believe that maybe Jared Goff will have more clean pockets. I mean, the Broncos missing Nick Benito is absolutely huge. I mean, it's almost like as if the Detroit Lions were missing Aiden Hutchinson. Maybe not the same degree, but if you're missing your best pass rusher, you should struggle. And the Lions' offensive line, when fully healthy, is the best offensive line in the NFL. And Penei Sewell, he's a guy that's been fully healthy this whole season. I have full confidence that he will put whoever is going up against him in phone booths. I just hope that Taylor Decker can at least play to the level similar to what prime Taylor Decker is.
I think this game's going to come down to something very, very simple, Sam. And it sounds cliche, and you've said it a lot this year, but it's really been the killer for the guys on offense, the turnover battle.
Yeah.
They have to win the turnover battle. I know it sounds cheesy, but it's so true with this offense. Because again, and Amon-Ra kind of spoke on this, it's not always about what the defenses are doing. It's about what these guys on offense are doing for the Lions. They dictate what happens. They dictate. The defense reacts to them. So it's not even like these defenses have caught up to Ben Johnson's offense. They just have to get it back to what they were doing. They got to, again, get back to the details, take care of the football, and, for Jared Goff at least, that offensive line, you got to protect him. Clean pocket. Yes. That's what has to happen this week. Because at that point, now we're looking at you, Jared.
Yeah.
Clean pocket. Okay, let's see what you can do. And you got a run game getting established there. It's going to be on Jared this week. Got to have a big game out of him. And I'm not saying big game like 300 yards. I'm talking big game as in a clean game. That's what I mean here, because I think the big game will come on the ground. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. This offense, those guys have to lead this offense here. I believe that. This week, big game from the two guys on the ground.
And I think that they will, because most of the time they do, even in some of the games where the Lions have lost, like to home versus the Packers and at the Bears. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs have still ran the ball on a per-carry basis very, very well. It's just the Lions have had to abandon it. I want to respond to something Steve O'Baby said. Sam, so what? Even if players are not in the game, the Lions can still lose. That's 100% true, but if you take any team's leading sacker off of their team for a game, it's going to hurt them no matter what. I'm not saying that the Broncos don't have other good pass rushers or other good players, but it's a big loss, especially given the fact that the Lions have a great offensive line. Even if Taylor Decker and Frank Ragnow aren't completely healthy, they still have a fully healthy Penei Sewell as a right tackle. That is very, very helpful. You got Jonah Jackson, who's back and kind of acclimating himself back into his position. So it is going to hurt the Broncos, I think. Obviously, guys can step up. You might have a legacy game from some player that we've never heard of, but I think it's more likely that the Broncos would have a good defensive performance with Nick Bonitto than without. We're all just making predictions. Anything can happen, but I think it's a logical conclusion that if your best pass rusher is out, it's something the Lions can exploit, and I'm sure Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell are working through the night to try to create something to exploit it.
Yeah, no, we'll take any advantage we can get. Nick Bonitto leads the team in sacks.
Yes.
He'll take that. He has 7 on the year. 11 tackle for losses, a forced fumble. Yeah, I'll take that every day of the week. So, again, that's like the Lions in terms of production. It's like them not having Aiden Hutchinson. So, Nick Bonitto has 7 sacks. So, I'll take that. Whatever helps. I mean, I think the pressure – Jared Goff's been getting pressured lately. I think this game and no Nick Bonitto can help that. Lions got to win this week. Big game. Let's go to break here. When we come back, we'll get into more of the matchups. I want to talk about C.J. Gardner-Johnson because it was announced yesterday he will be back next week. Next week, he's returning to practice. He'll be cleared to play. What kind of impact will C.J. Gardner-Johnson or C.D. Deuce, now the new name, which you don't appreciate?
Yeah.
You'd prefer C.J. Gardner-Johnson?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Well, C.J. G.J., whatever the hell you want to call him. Coming back next week, how much of an impact will he make? We'll talk about it in a little bit here. But first, we got to hear about our friends from Dispo.
Hey, where we're at right now, and experience the Dispo difference this Christmas season. It's the Dispo Christmas Extravaganza. I kind of got a little bit of a taste of it because we walked in and they had their whole lobby decked out in Christmas apparel and in Christmas gear. That is beautiful, beautiful thing to watch. And Dispo's giving away a TV as well as 2 $100 in-store gift cards per week at participating locations. Nobody does it like the Dispo family. Unwrap the joy of Dispo Dispensary every week. Join them in celebrating for the holidays. See store for more details. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesales.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
We're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. We're out at Dispo in Romeo, the Dispo Mall. This place is massive. It's beautiful. People already coming in and getting their cannabis. If you're in the area or you're not too far away, make the drive, man. Come say hi. Come get your products here. They got everything you need. Shout out to Sean, Darren, all the guys at Dispo, man. They take care of us every time we're over here. So a lot of love for those guys. Let's get into CJ Gardner-Johnson because he is coming back not this week, but next week. I wish he was coming back this week. They need him. But I want to say first off about CD Deuce, how impressive is it that this man has been able to come back this quick from a torn pec? Like, I just want to say that he's a superhuman, first off. Average recovery time, and I'm not a doctor, so if you're a doctor in the chat, please correct me. It's around 4 to 6 months, I believe, for a torn pec. And the 17th of December, in 2 days, will be 3 months. So I don't know. He's been cleared, so it's impressive. He's been working his ass off, and this secondary needs him. They need him for a multitude of reasons. I mean, I can go through it. His versatility, his energy, the juice he brings, his leadership, and especially his playmaking. They need him so bad. 11 interceptions, 12 total turnovers in his career. It's basically 4 seasons. So this is a guy who, again, makes plays, and he's the leader on this defense. He's a big part. He's very vocal, and this defense, it seems like it's just been lacking an edge, Sam Flannel. Yeah. And I think CJ Gardner-Johnson helps bring that back. He's the battery pack for this defense. But at the same time, some would tell me, Sam, that one player wouldn't change this defense. That's why Brad didn't go trade for anybody.
Ooh. Well,
so I guess if based off that logic, will he help this secondary? Based off that logic, probably not. But based on what I believe, see, I'm trolling here, Sam. Based on what I believe, he will help this defense because one player like him, a player like that, can absolutely help this defense. He's a difference maker, hence why I wanted help at the deadline. But regardless, I'm over it. It also seems like Kirby at the same time plays better alongside him. I don't know why. He just does. So CJ Gardner-Johnson, I think his return is significant. And this defense, we need all the help we can get. I think him coming back and James Houston coming back, we saw this defense fully healthy early in the season. They looked way better. They did.
So you even brought in James Houston and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So let me just ask you guys a hypothetical question. And, Jeff, you can even answer if you want. Coming into the year, if you would have told me or if I would have told you that James Houston would have 10 sacks and C.J. Gardner-Johnson would have 5 picks, would that have sounded crazy?
No.
Not at all.
If they played the entire season, yeah, no, that's not crazy at all.
Those are the type of players that the Lions may have been missing from their defense the whole year, guys who can make that big of an impact. And the reason that I can say that is because James Houston had 8 sacks in 7 games his rookie season. On a per-snap basis was one of the best sackers of the quarterback in NFL history, maybe the best, just on a per-snap basis. We all know if he played more. But anyway, I digress. And C.J. Gardner-Johnson had 6 interceptions in 12 games, tied for the league lead in interceptions. So, yes, those are guys, and I want to talk about C.J. Gardner-Johnson specifically because he's the one who's going to come back sooner. Yes, absolutely, C.J. Gardner-Johnson can help their defense, and there's things that the Lions' defense has been lacking that C.J. Gardner-Johnson can bring. For one, the Lions defense is bottom 5 in the NFL in forcing turnovers. C.J. Gardner-Johnson has proven last year that he is a ball hawk. He is a guy that can take the football away. And with C.J. Gardner-Johnson back there, along with Kirby Joseph, who has also shown ball hawking tendencies, and Brian Branch and Jerry Jacobs, all of them together, they've all shown that they can take the football away. The Lions this year, Kirby Joseph this year, not so much. But if C.J. Gardner-Johnson is back there, I do think they will have created at least a couple of more turnovers. And also, the Lions' pass defense by the numbers hasn't been quite as terrible as maybe you'd think, but there's some context to it because the Lions defense also gave up a career game to Geno Smith, a career game to Lamar Jackson. You look at one of the best games of Justin Herbert's career, a couple of good games to Justin Fields, the Jordan Love legacy game, and a very, very good game to Derek Carr, who himself isn't even having a good year. So the Lions have shown themselves to be susceptible to getting torched by quarterbacks, both mobile and non-mobile, both good and mid and up and coming. You just never know. They've been victim of a lot of quarterbacks this year. And C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he is the guy that I think we might have expected to be the best defensive back on the team moving forward into this season, and he's been gone. And that's the one thing that I think we forget sometimes is, yes, this defense has struggled. Yes, this pass defense has struggled quite a bit, especially against certain quarterbacks, and they haven't really turned the football over. But they've been missing some key pieces, in particular
Yes.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson. If he comes back and even gives you 80% of prime C.J., that could make a difference in maybe winning a playoff game or losing in the first round, maybe winning an extra game at the end of the year. I'm not trying to put too many eggs in the C.J. Gardner-Johnson basket, but he's a damn good player. And him returning would be huge for the secondary.
Especially for the postseason and these next stretch of games. They need the edge, man. They need a guy like C.D. Deuce. And the one thing about this defense, and I've been harping on it for weeks now, Sam, is if you give up a ton of yards, you have to mimic what the Broncos have been doing. They do it so well, and I just mentioned it earlier, and the Lions have to copy this mold somehow, some way. Now, they don't have the players. C.D. Deuce will definitely help that problem there, but they need the playmakers. They got to force turnovers. If you're giving up a ton of yards, especially through the air, because they're a good run defense, but if you're giving up yards through the air, you have to force turnovers. They did it last year, down the stretch being 8-2. That's what helps any defense is any opposing offense can move the ball up and down the field on you, but if you're creating turnovers, that's what saves your ass, and the Broncos can do that at a high level, and I think C.D. Deuce and his playmaking ability, they need it. They need it bad because Kirby, at least so far, he had the interception against the Chargers. And you know, hey, we still got a lot of hope for him in his future. But he hasn't been the second-year player I think many of us expected in terms of the playmaking. I mean, the guy last year was a walking interception and a walking forced fumble. He's just getting – I think he had like 6 turnovers, something like that on the year. Yeah. This year he has, what, 1? He has 1 interception? I'd have to double-check that. But he has not been the Kirby of last year. So I think the addition of a guy like C.D. Deuce, it helps significantly. And then we talk about James Houston. Come and help Aiden Hutchinson. So you couldn't have picked a better time for these two guys to return. Before the postseason, before a tough stretch of games here to close the year, it's not even about the NFC North. I think they'll win the NFC North, and I think they'll win a playoff game. But you know what helps my confidence level in winning a playoff game? Those two players, especially C.D. Deuce, no doubt about that.
Yeah, it's C.J. Gardner-Johnson without a shadow of a doubt. But even James Houston, I mean, I've mentioned this a lot because I've defended Aiden Hutchinson more than some. But this season, in terms of the opposite edge rusher, he has had some of the worst help that I've ever seen. And I get it. Aleem McNeil was always – he had a damn good year himself, but he himself is probably going to miss the rest of the regular season. So going down the stretch, if you can get James Houston back for even the last couple of games or so, that would be absolutely huge. Because as I've mentioned, what has Charles Harris done this year? Nothing. John Kaminsky has regressed. The Okwara brothers have done nothing. Josh Pascal has done a whole lot of nothing. Broderick Martin has done nothing. Levi Onwuzurike has done next to nothing. Isaiah Buggs has been inactive for a lot of the games, even though when he has played, he has shown some flashes. Yep. So any help on that defensive line would be absolutely huge. I mean, coming into the season, one of the things that we were excited about as a fan base, and I in particular was excited about, is how many sacks can Aiden Hutchinson and James Houston combine for? Could they be one of the better bookend edge rushers in the NFL? And I genuinely thought the answer was yes. And now that James Houston has missed most of the year, I have some doubts. Maybe I just forgot how good he actually was at the end of last year, and he needs to come back and show us all and remind us. But those two back, I can't even imagine how much better off this defense would be with both of them healthy. And I know it's the NFL, you're always going to take on some injuries, but with those two healthy, I'm not saying that this would be an elite defense or anything like that, but it would certainly be better, and I certainly think it would help some of the guys in the secondary and on the defensive line, both position groups that have had a lot of struggles this year. It would exponentially help, and I think maybe with those two guys back, coming into the playoffs, coming into the last part of the regular season, the home stretch, they could play like maybe a top half of the NFL defense. I know that's a lot to ask from guys coming back from major injuries, but sometimes guys just have to step up. And if the Lions want to achieve what we all think that they can, which is at least winning one playoff game, their defense has to be better. They can't keep playing, I mean, even defense and offensively like they have the last month, or else they'll get bounced, and everybody would think that would be a massive disappointment.
Now, to some of these comments I want to go through. Tony Snow, we'll answer yours to start. Are hopes too high for Houston? How do we know he doesn't have a slump like Kirby? That's a great point, Tony, because I'm in the same boat. I think their return will help, but I don't think Houston's going to come back and be a sack a game. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, that's where the expectations got to be tempered. But at this point, Tony, I'll take any help. That's kind of where I'm at. Do I think he can come back and be the James Houston of last year right away? No, and I've said that. I don't think he's going to come save this entire pass rush, but he'll help. He'll help for sure. They just need a guy that can win one-on-ones, and James Houston can do that. I want to answer this question, too. Donovan, did they both return? No, C.D. Deuce is expected to return to practice next week. James Houston, he'll be later on. If you get him back maybe before the Dallas game, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But they're talking about late December, early January, so you'll have him back before the playoffs. Let's see here. Paul M. James Houston could be big. He does a better job of squeezing the pocket than any of our linemen, including Hutch. Paul M., I agree with that point about Houston because they don't have help out there. They don't have anybody that consistently can win one-on-ones. Kamitsky, the commish finally showed up last week.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. Was waiting on him, but that's good. That's good. But you need someone that can consistently do it. That's the problem here. Let's see. Cody Angle, missed tackles, keep drives alive. And that's the thing with C.D. Deuce, I believe he will help out, is the leadership and the accountability part of it on the field. Like, to have another guy out there that can call people out, I think C.D. Deuce is going to do that. He embraces that. So I think having him out there will help that as well. Let's see. Edward O'Neill says, we only need Houston, only about 10 to 20 snaps on pass rushing drives. Silent Service says, I want to lean back. Yeah, Aleem not playing is a significant loss as well. I see a comment here. Irving, is Irving playing? I don't know. I would assume so, though. He was out last week because of an ankle injury, and I think he's better this week. Dan said he's healing up, so I expect him to be out there.
I hope so, because he actually made a couple of plays in his one game with the Detroit Lions. And it was disappointing that in the next game he didn't play, and that was a game in which the Lions had lost. So I guess the point of all of this is that the Lions defense, the way it looks right now, the way the team looks right now, it could look a lot different when the games count even more, like the end of the regular season and come playoff time. And that is a reason for me to be optimistic. Even though after that Bears game, I was kind of doing a little bit of the sky is falling routine to some extent. I had to be talked off the ledge a little bit, but if the Lions can win this game against Denver and they can get some key pieces back healthy and at least giving you something, I mean, Edward O'Neill nailed it. If James Houston is on the field for 10 to 20 pass rushing snaps, I think that would help tremendously. I mean, that's kind of what he did last year, and it seemed like every time he was on the field, he got a sack. But at the very least, I think it would help draw some attention away from Aiden Hutchinson, at least if he comes back and shows that he can play. I know some teams probably have some doubts and they wouldn't want to double him immediately or anything like that. But that's where James Houston has to maybe show who he was last year and force teams to put more protection onto him. And that frees up Aiden Hutchinson, and Hutch will then get more sacks and make more plays. I think it could only help this defense.
Now this comment, Motown Mitch, how is Houston going to help? AG thinks he's a coverage guy. All he's been this year is burnt toast and injured. Yeah, that's the thing about please don't make this man drop back into coverage, AG. Please.
Or on special teams. That's just
on special teams.
The way that looks now is just he got hurt on special teams.
That should have never happened.
That just makes me like want to vomit.
Yeah. Alec G says, what's the health of Alex Anzalone? Is he back yet? He's back. He's got a screw in his thumb, so he's tough as nails. So he'll be out there. And, Alex Anzalone, man, he's built different. A lot of these guys on the CD Deuce returning in 3 months when he has probably a couple more months of recovery time. These guys are all just built different. Justin O, is Tyson Alualu playing? That's probably the question, Justin. You know? Is Tyson Alualu the most dominant interior defensive lineman in the league? No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to do that today. But is he playing? I don't know. I hope so. They were able to get away with it last week, like without Lee McNeil. You didn't notice too much, about at least that interior, but it's going to catch up to him at some point. Lee McNeil is a difference maker, like a pass rusher, and a run stopper. So, yeah, we'll see. And maybe Tyson Alualu can help out that. Let's see. All right, let's go to break, and when we get back, we'll kind of break down some more of this game here. I want to get into the Jameson Williams conversation because Dan spoke on it. We have a video here, and then we have a video of Hendon Hooker throwing J-Mo the ball. We're going to play it for the people. He was out there running some routes. Offense apparently had a damn near perfect practice this week. Is it perfect enough for J-Mo to get the rock? We'll see. I'm curious. Let's go to break, but first, we got to hear about our friends from Guardian Alarm.
Yes, let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
G-G-G-G-A.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. There we go. Oh, cheers, buddy. I think we need to get you a pick.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Co. has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and, of course, dry-aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks or order online at fairwaypacking.com. And here you go. The video of J-Mo here running routes. Look at him. Hendon Hooker throwing a beautiful ball to him. I mean, come on. Come on. He looks good. Hendon Hooker's getting reps. Dan kind of said he's playing some scout team there. It's nice. They practiced indoors. The offense, according to reports, they had a perfect practice. Take that for what you will, whether that means they're going to play really well this week or not. It's great. The offense, they need a bounce-back performance, and I do think they'll have it on the ground tomorrow. I do. I think this offensive line being back, Jameer David, how Jameer's playing, Jameer's going to be a problem for the Broncos. I do believe that. In the pass game and in the run game. We're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you guys for tuning in. People chiming in already. I want to read some of these comments. Let's see. Funky says, AG doesn't pick who's on special teams. Why do y'all keep blaming him for Houston getting hurt? Seriously, y'all need to take up checkers because football's hard for you guys. Well, then it's Phipps' fault. Whoever the fault it is, Houston should not be playing special teams. That's the point here. So, Funky, if it's not AG's fault, then fine. But Houston on special teams is criminal.
One funky Lions fan has been just a ball of negativity lately. Like I said, I don't think I've agreed with him on anything in the last month or so.
He's just preaching truth.
He's approaching Detroit supremacy level bad.
No, well, I do like funky, and I think he's correcting us there. So you know what, we got it wrong.
I mean, he basically said we should cover checkers. So I'm just calling it as I see it. One funky Lions.
Hey.
Come on. All right.
Checkers might be fun to cover, to be honest with you.
Yeah, checkers.
Right, we could do a breakdown on checkers.
Good, fine game.
We could do a breakdown on checkers. Why not? Eric Allen says, I feel like this game for Denver is going to be a Carolina game for us last year, a trap game on the road that everyone thought they'd win and get crushed, especially by the run. Well, this is at home, Eric, so at least there's that. And I would agree with you, Eric, but I would ask you, how do you see the Broncos beating us? The only way I can see this happening, Sam Flannel, is if the offense keeps turning the football over.
Yeah.
Because the run game, this is a top 5 run defense for the Lions. This isn't the same run defense we saw last year. They were better, but they had a slip up against the Carolina Panthers. I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, I
really don't want to even think about that. Because if that's an outcome, Eric Allen, I think we're all hitting the panic button.
Oh, yeah, Eric Allen, and I kind of get what he's saying.
He's saying, excuse me. Sorry, Eric. He said, I feel like this game for Denver is going to be the Carolina game for us last year. Yes, sorry, Eric. I read it wrong.
Okay.
My bad, Eric. My bad. That's on me. He says this is a Carolina game for Denver. As in we run the ball all over them. Yes, I agree with you, Eric. That's my bad. Read that wrong.
No. The only
I actually don't hate that take, to be honest with you.
I don't hate it at all. And the biggest difference between the Carolina game for us last year and what could be the Carolina game for the Broncos versus us this year is that you could actually see it coming. I mean, last year, did anybody think that Chuba Hubbard and Deontay Foreman would run all over us and they'd set their franchise record for rushing yards in a game? Absolutely not. But I've said numerous times throughout the week that it wouldn't shock me at all if the Lions rushed for 200 yards against the Broncos. I think it's set up for them to have a dominant day on the ground. And if they do that, there is no way that the Lions can lose this game because, as I said before, it not only keeps them on the ground and doing what they do best and being a dominant rush offense, but it also keeps Jared Goff from obvious passing situations, and I think it would make him less susceptible to turnovers. Only good can come from having a dominant rushing performance. The franchise record for rushing yards in a game, though, like the Panthers did to the Lions last year, I don't know about that, but I'll tell you what, I would be surprised. But now Eric Allen's kind of put that bug in my head. Like, maybe this could happen.
Yeah, again, that's my apologies again, Eric, for misreading that because I actually agree with you. I think this could be one of those games where the Lions could beat the team this year, not the team on the other side of the coin there, but the team this year that could go up against the Broncos, and the Broncos are like, hey, they're playing well, but then they just hit a wall and the Lions run for 200, 300 on them. Who knows? But I do think it's definitely possible. You look at how Jameer's been playing, dude. The last 2 games, both games he's had a 36-yard run.
Yep.
So, it seems like one of these games he's going to break off for another big run and even maybe for a TD. You saw David Montgomery do it against the Chargers. Jameer did it. I agree with him. This is going to be a big day on the ground, I think. I do. And it has to be, I think, if they're going to win this football game. Let's see. John Henry says, we're smart enough to know Jacobs can't single cover anyone, and especially not DJ Moore. And that's the other thing, Sam. I'm curious if Cam Sutton travels tomorrow, like on Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
Because Cortland Sutton, if you go look at the Denver Broncos and what they've been doing this year, he's their biggest red zone target, but not just the red zone. I'm talking about their biggest touchdown threat.
Yeah.
I think in the last 2 games, Russ has like a 36-yard pass or 30-something yard pass, a 40-yard touchdown pass to Cortland Sutton. He's their big playmaker. Jerry Jeudy is kind of their death by 1,000 cuts guy. He'll get a 10-yard pass here, 10-yard catch here. Cortland Sutton is the home run hitter, hitting his head on the goalpost. So I would prefer if Cam Sutton travels with him. I don't want to see Jerry Jacobs on Cortland Sutton. I don't want to see Kendall Vildor on Cortland Sutton. I just think there's one guy I trust in the secondary to cover that man, and it's Cam Sutton. And I don't think one guy should should rotate. It should be Cam Sutton the entire game.
Well, and even Cam Sutton, I'm not so sure if he could completely shut down Cortland Sutton.
But he's the best option.
Oh, well, yeah. With Jerry Jacobs on Cortland Sutton, single coverage, I would expect to be barbecue chicken at that point because Cortland Sutton, believe it or not, he's tied for second in the NFL in touchdown receptions with 10. The only one who has more is Tyreek Hill, and the guy who's tied with him is Mike Evans. So that's pretty crazy. Cortland Sutton is developing into that wide receiver that the Broncos kind of always envisioned him to be. He's had some injury issues. He had one great year, but for the most part, the last few years of his career have been a bit disappointing, and he's finally reaching that potential. So yeah, if Russell Wilson can hit a deep one to Cortland Sutton, or maybe throw a touchdown to Cortland Sutton, that could be another thing that gives the Lions some problems, especially if the Lions can't get any pressure on Russell Wilson as well, because if that happens, the cornerbacks have to cover for longer, and a guy like Cortland Sutton is eventually going to end up open. And honestly, on paper, Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy is a pretty good wide receiver duo, although Jerry Jeudy, he's never quite developed into the receiver that he was at Alabama, and they thought that he was going to be coming out. But as I've said before, the Lions have given up some really really good performances to some quarterbacks. And Russell Wilson, another thing about him is he's mobile. He can buy time in the pocket. He can run. And that is something, and I hate to say it, I feel like everyone's a broken record. The Lions struggle against mobile quarterbacks. And some people say, well, mobile quarterbacks are hard to defend. Everybody struggles against them. But the Lions, it just seems like every time they face someone mobile, they get torched. It's almost like clockwork at this point. I'm not saying that Russell Wilson is going to torch the Lions or anything, but it's not. We can't, as Lions fans, say, Russell Wilson, never. That's not going to happen. It
not
could.
At this point.
Not at this point, no.
He could. I would. If you told me Russell Wilson's going to have 250 yards on us tomorrow, I would be like, okay. Honestly, I'm not going to say, Russell Wilson, they're in the 20s in pass offense. I'm not doing that today. Like, this defense, you're giving up career games to guys, so we have no right to even say that. Hoof Harden says AG doesn't ask Sutton to man up on a specific wide receiver. AG has them play zone and not cover anyone. That's the problem, Hoof. And I wonder if that'll be an adjustment for AG this week, or he just keeps the zone coverage thing, because I'm telling you, that Broncos offense is going to find a way to get Cortland Sutton on Jerry Jacobs.
Oh.
And I do not believe that is a matchup you want 100%. Without Jerry's playing, that is a matchup you 100% want. So I would hope that Cam Sutton travels. It's not like Cam Sutton's been Sauce Gardner. He's not been, one of the best corners in the league. He's been struggling too. But all that kind of ties back to the pass rush. If you're giving Russ time in the pocket, he could throw deep balls. He can throw deep balls, man.
Yes,
I mean, he's got a beautiful spiral. And say what you want about Russ, the dude can air it out. And Cortland Sutton is his number one target. So I'm curious. It's on Kirby. It's on whoever's covering him. It's on the pass rush to get home, at least put pressure. And not just pressure, but get sacks on Russell Wilson. And maybe they can do that this week. Funky says bracket Sutton most of the game. I'm with you, Funky. Sutton's the game changer there. He's the big playmaker on that Broncos offense. I'll tell you that. Anthony says that's because we don't have a mobile quarterback. Talking about Jared Goff there. And Kazee Lyons says we have to see Goff throw the ball downfield when he has time. We just have to give him another second or two. And I'll ask you, do you prefer Goff to throw the ball downfield this game? I don't know if I want him to. You got Justin Simmons back there, who's got. Let me see. I want to give this stat off really quickly for Justin Simmons. I believe he has 30 picks in like 100 games.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No,
35 turnovers forced in 100 games. So do you really want Jared Goff slinging it downfield?
Ideally, no.
I do not why. I don't think that's a good. And usually I do, but this game, I just would prefer him not to because of the risk there with Justin Simmons. That dude is rangy. He's 6'2". He's going to get it. He's doing it every week. So I get what you're saying, but I don't know. I'm not going to sling it downfield like that. I don't know.
And you got Patrick Surtain the second
back
there as well. Definitely some guys who have been Pro Bowlers, All Pros, 100. No, that's not ideal for Jared Goff to be slinging the ball down the field. If it works, great, but I think the way that the Lions offense is going to beat the Broncos is with running the football and those short passes in the middle. I know that defenses are trying, have kind of figured out that one of the ways to stop Jared Goff and even Amon-Ra St. Brown and Laporta to some extent is to clog the middle of the field. But at some point, if the Lions can run the football, that's going to change the defensive game plan as well. But I don't see For now, I don't want Jared Goff throwing the football down the field. I mean, this year he's struggled with that. He hit some big throws last year, like the one at Green Bay to Khalif Raymond rolling out and throwing across his body. That was amazing. But lately, you've seen a lot of, I would say, ducks, to put it as nicely as I can. He throws some ducks. He underthrows J-Mo a lot.
Jason Young says, can we get a couple of design runs for Goff? I would love to see his stat line over 0.5 rushing yards once this
Jesus
year.
Christ.
He's not going to do that, Jason. You know that, too.
He looks clunkier running the ball than Denver Broncos Peyton Manning.
Yeah, that's I don't even – he did it, against the Packers at home, and he turned the football over. So you sure you want him doing that?
Oh, God, where's like the guy's pinky? Just basically
the pinky fumble. I mean, come on. All right, let's go to break here. I wanted to save the J-Mo conversation for 9 o'clock. We'll get into it now. Your expectations for J-Mo, big game incoming, your kind of thoughts on that. Me and Sam, maybe we'll argue, maybe we won't. We'll see see what kind of opinions get thrown out there. But first, though, I got to tell you about our friends over at Big Boy because, guys, wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. You go over there, you try their breakfast. They got it. Stuffed potato pancakes, classic lumberjack, and much more. Apple pie hotcakes as well. You can top it off with their gingerbread shake for dessert. All you got to do, stop by your local Big Boy today.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Let's talk about Outdoor Equipment Company, official equipment provider of Woodward Sports, Michigan-grown, family-owned, Bad Boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers, Liberty trailers, Generac generators, Snow X plows, and salters. Outdoor Equipment Co. has it all. Buy it, rent it at 0% financing, delivery to your doorstep. Just visit their website at OutdoorEquipmentCo.com.
We're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thanks to everybody for sticking with us, for tuning into the show this morning. Again, don't forget, Big D Energy will also be here. E&E will be at the studio. But, of course, we're here at Dispo in Romeo at their Dispo Mall. It's beautiful in here. They got Santa coming, I think.
Ooh.
They got Santa Claus here.
Ho, ho, ho.
They got Santa Claus. They got a Christmas tree. They got music playing. They got people shopping for their cannabis products. So, please, if you need anything, you got to re-up. If you're in the area or you're not too far of a drive, come stop by Dispo, man. They got it all. Let's get into the J-Mo conversation because they've been speaking high about J-Mo. High regard. Do this every single week, and he gets one target. So, do I believe it? Do I think he'll have a big game? No, because I don't think they're going to involve him, just like they always they just fail to do every single week. But I will say this. Hendon Hooker, he's going to help J-Mo. I don't know. It ain't going to be this season. But just think about it for a second. Think about what Hendon Hooker did to Jalen Hyatt at Tennessee. Like the guy with that type of speed, and he's not doing too bad in New York, but still, Hendon Hooker, he throws a beautiful deep ball. We know that. And I think for Jamison Williams, I don't think he's going to have a game this week. I'm done doing that. I don't. Because, number one, you got Justin Simmons back there, like I just said, and he has the most interceptions since he entered the league. He's 6'2", he's rangy, and like I said last break, 100 games started, around 100 games in his career. He's got 35 forced turnovers. 30 of them are interceptions, 5 forced fumbles. He isn't a guy you want to test. I'll say that. He's not a guy you want to test. He's a guy you probably want to stay away from. He's a guy that you're going to have to key in on every passing play. It just is what it is. But doesn't mean J-Mo can't have a decent game and not all just deep shots. You can get him. You can find different ways to get him the football, which I've been harping on every single week. It doesn't always have to be deep shots. J-Mo is a talented wide receiver. He's got a bigger route tree than just go routes. You could try it. I mean, why can't you get the man the rock on a post, a dig, a slant, comeback? It doesn't matter. To me, it's up to Ben Johnson, and it's on Jared Goff to find ways to get this man opportunities, especially with his ability to hit his head on the goalpost. I don't think it has to always be deep shots. Like, that's the thing about J-Mo. Just find ways to get the man the football. He's doing it in the running game. It showed you at the against the Saints, had like a 19, 20-yard run. Like, I'm not asking you to change the entire game plan for him. Like, I'm not. I want that to make that very clear. I know you got mouths to feed. You got Laporta. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown. But can J-Mo just get 3-4 targets? Is that too much to ask? Can he just get a couple targets? That's all I'm asking for. Like John McEnroe came on the show yesterday and talked about, he spoke to J-Mo, and J-Mo said, hey, a lot of these passing plays, I'm not the number one read. Can we get a couple of these passing plays where J-Mo could be like the third read and Jared can kind of go through progressions and then get the football to J-Mo? That's all I'm asking. So do I think we'll have a big game? Maybe not. Probably not. If we're talking about realistically just how the targets have been going. But is it impossible for him to? No, it isn't. And there's different ways to get this man the football, especially with you running the football. I think they're going to have success doing that. You're going to be able to establish play action. You might have some plays open up. I don't think they should be testing Justin Simmons, but Sam, there's got to be a different way to get J-Mo the ball. There just has to be.
All right. And I'm not going to yell and scream today. I know I did that about J-Mo the other day, but it's going to be a nice, calm discussion because I don't think my blood pressure can handle it anymore at this point. Jamison Williams, if you're one of those people that's still predicting every week, this is the week where he's going to get 5 catches for 130 yards and a touchdown, I think at this point you're being a little bit naive because I always hear about it. I'm not trying to be Neil Rule. I always hear about it, but I never see it. I'm not saying that he hasn't been impactful in a couple of games, like at home versus Chicago, at Tampa Bay, and at New Orleans. He's made plays that have helped them win games 100%, but at this point, he's just not really as big of a part of the offense as some of the other players like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, the backfield, even Josh Reynolds at some games, although his role has diminished a bit. Khalif Raymond has had some big games even this year. I think he had 5 for 93 one game, but that just hasn't happened for Jamison Williams yet. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I know we talked to John McEnroe yesterday, and he said that it was 35% Jamison Williams' fault. And everyone in the chat was just like, ha, 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 Sam, John McEnroe dunked on you. And I'm just like, no, 35% was about what I thought. My problem is with the people that think it's 0% Jamison Williams' fault. That's what a lot of you guys try to tell me, that it's 100% Jamison Williams is perfect and he has no culpability in this. It's just at this point, let me ask you guys a question. If the Lions win and Jamison Williams doesn't have a big game, are you cool with it? Because I kind of feel like a lot of you guys are becoming more J-Mo fans than Lions fans at this point. Even if they win and Jamison Williams doesn't have a big game, it's like, oh my God, Ben Johnson's a bum. He can't get Jamison Williams involved. And it's like, what are we doing? It's almost like the Jamison Williams cult of personality is unlike anything I've seen in Detroit. And that includes a lot of people who have had big cult of personalities in Detroit, like Darren McCarty, for example. I don't understand it. I've never understood it.
I get the frustration from Lions fans, and you even agree, Sam, they got to get him the football.
Sure.
I get it. So we're in lockstep there. Now, Lions fans, and me, and, yes. I feel, and I know Neil feels this way, how do you know if the dude's got talent if you're not giving him the football? That's kind of my problem. And when you do give him the football, typically good things happen. So that's something that frustrates me, is you have this shiny toy that we've seen when the football's in his hands. Things happen. But he hasn't had more than 2-3 targets this year, besides the Ravens game when the Lions got blown out.
Yeah.
So, I'd like him to get more than one target. He had one target last week, one catch. Or, one target, no catches. And it was an underthrown ball on a shot down field where J-Mo was wide open. Yeah, it's frustrating. And there's a lot of these plays where Amon-Ra St. Brown will get the football, but J-Mo's wide open. All I'm asking for Goff to do is go through progressions, and if you see J-Mo's wide open, just get him the football. That's all I'm asking. And maybe it's a comfortability thing with Goff. He doesn't feel comfortable with Jameson Williams because we know Goff. There's a reason why Josh Reynolds plays so much is because Goff and him have great chemistry. Even when Josh Reynolds struggled, he kept playing a lot, which is fair. Josh Reynolds, he's been playing well. At least in the beginning of the year, and he's kind of come back the last couple of games. But there's got to be a way that a weapon like J-Mo gets more touches. There just has to be. And I don't know if it won't be deep shots this week, but underneath, there has to be a way. I just don't want your 12th overall pick to go out there and be a decoy and get one target and it's underthrown.
Yeah.
That's not fair. Or get one touch in the run game for 4 yards.
But has he earned anything more? You don't know what's going on in practice. As I've said before, I understand that it's frustrating. I understand.
Well, he played 60% of the snaps almost, so something's going well.
Well, I understand that when you see some of the plays that he's made, you think, why can't they do this every game? Why can't they involve him a little bit more? But you never know what's going on in practice. And also, and I've said this before, it's not even necessarily an insult to Jameson Williams at some point. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a real number one wide receiver. Sam Laporta is one of the best tight ends in the NFL as a rookie. He had a training camp. He didn't get suspended this year. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, as we all believe, is the best backfield in the NFL. The reality is that the Lions have shown both this year and last year, that they can win without him. Jameson Williams right now, as I've said before, by the numbers, is Kevontae Turpin. And you guys want to treat him like he's Tyreek Hill at this point.
Well, who would you say who's wide receiver 2 on this team?
Right now, probably Josh Reynolds.
And the fact that you said probably is my point.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a consistent number 2 option. It's Amon-Ra and then a collection of dudes.
Sure.
That's how it works. So for me, it's not about anybody getting demoted. It's kind of been Amon-Ra's going to get his, Laporta's going to get his, and then there's got to be somebody else. And we've seen Josh Reynolds make plays. We've seen Josh Reynolds struggle. And even during the stretch where he was struggling, J-Mo started producing, and then it just went away. We just stopped targeting J-Mo.
Yeah,
he had 40 yards in a 3-game stretch, and we just stopped targeting him. And that was in 2 catches.
Yeah.
So all I'm asking for is, can we get the man more touches? He's playing better, but you wouldn't know because he's not getting the football thrown at him.
Well, in further
for his position, you don't know. He can't make plays if the football doesn't go to him.
I understand. And as I've said millions and millions of times, and people hate when I do that, every other wide receiver that's great manages to get targets. Wide receivers from his same draft class manage to get targets, but Jameson Williams can't. But that's the point I was about to make is if Jameson Williams say, and this is me, and I've done this before, so you guys can't even tell me that I haven't. If Jameson Williams, if the Lions win and J-Mo has, 2 catches for 37 yards and a touchdown, I'll say bravo. Not that he was a star or anything, but he impacted winning. It's just that I keep saying this. I have never seen a cult of personality in my time on the show quite like the Jameson Williams one, because if the Lions lose, somehow it's going to be 100% because Ben Johnson couldn't get Jameson Williams the football. And I think we're kind of living in bizarro world at this point. It's and I've seen this mentioned in the chat, and I love it. Thank you guys for that. Mentioning, it's we should change some of the lyrics to Living Color's Cult of Personality. It should be like Jameson Williams and Kennedy.
Oh
I'm a cult of personality. That's what you guys are right now. Come on.
People appreciate talent.
He's talented, sure.
So we want to see a guy who's talented get the rock.
And he will.
What's the big deal with that?
Because you guys defend him like he's your son. Hey, actually another question for you guys in the chat. Would you let Jameson Williams sleep with your wife?
Oh, my God.
Seriously. Yeah. I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you, Jeff. I'm not asking KG or JB. Sam. I'm asking you guys in the chat. Would you let Jameson Williams sleep with your wife?
No way.
Come on, Sam.
You'd probably be happy if he put a baby into your wife so you could always have Jameson Williams' offspring near you.
No way.
Seriously.
You did not just say, no way.
Yes.
Cody Reed says, is he paying us? Come on, Cody. You sicko. What are we doing here?
Oh, that's horrible.
Well, at least think about it. No, I'm just kidding. No, what the hell? Okay, you know what?
That's horrible.
I'll do whatever it takes to get this man more targets.
Damn.
Oh, my God, you sick ass. All right, let's go to Broder with his hand raised. Broder, all right, we're getting out of here. Let's go to break. We come back. We'll do our NFL pick 'em. We'll give our winners and losers. Broder does a great job on Woodward Nights, by the way. Check those guys out, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Great show, great program. Best night show in the country. Quick plug. But he records all their pick-ems, and they have, like, records throughout the season.
Yeah.
I don't know why we should be doing that. That's on me, boys.
I made some bad predictions in my time, so I'm kind of happy that we don't. Like, I remember last year when I was doing a lot of work on the heavyweights, every time I would show up for their pick-em show, I'd always lose, and I always ended up in the hot dog suit. Many footage has been made of me. One of them was arguing with Easy, where I was like screaming at him like you see me do on the show with a hot dog suit. That takes away some credibility.
What about this comment? William Rhodes says the guy who would let Mahomes do the same.
Oh, I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Hey, Mahomes.
I knew that was coming.
I didn't hear a no.
No.
All right, there you have it. All right, let's go.
I mean, if
Right, let's go to break.
Well, if she decided that it was like her hall pass or something,
Okay,
I'd be like, you could do worse. You could do worse.
All right, we're getting the hell out of here. Let's go to break here. We get back, of course, we'll get to our NFL pick 'em. But first, we got to hear about our friends from Swiss Insurance.
Steve Lehman. Hell, I can't even sleep with my wife.
Steve.
Hey, you put it on the chat, so like I had to read that one out loud. Hold up. Do I even have a Swiss read? I know I do. Do you have football on the brain? Of course you do. College and professional football season is in swing, and this year has been awesome. Winter right now is a perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177. Again, that is 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance.
Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealership. 18 locations. There's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest to you. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, first-class car buying experience. Call it the Feldman Advantage. Catch Woodward Sports live from Feldman Chevrolet in Novi every other Monday to recap Lions victories or losses.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then, she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Just in time for football, Glorious Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. So smooth, Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Check us out online at gloriouscanna.com.
We're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network at Dispo and Romeo. I see people talking about the pregame show for the Lions. Don't forget, 5:30 to 7:30 is the Lions pregame show. Me, Maz, Booner, Spencer. It'll be a packed show. It'll be a lot of fun. Watch party and, of course, the postgame show. So those are the time slots for that. Let's get to our pick'em, NFL pick'em. We'll go around the NFL. We'll make these very quickly. Danny G, appreciate you, my man, by the way. Much appreciated. All right, let's get to it. We'll start with Minnesota and Cincinnati. Nick Mullins season.
I got to go with...
He's no DeVito, but Nick Mullins, hey, just kidding. Give me Browning.
Yeah.
At home, Jake Browning, give me the Bengals. They're beating Minnesota. I don't give a damn.
I got to go with Cincinnati on this one as well. I mean, I'm not saying that that Joe Burrow's a system quarterback or anything like that, but Jake Browning has come in, and the Cincinnati Bengals really haven't missed much of a beat. I think they could still contend for a playoff position. They have a good team around him. He's got some good receivers to throw to.
Yep.
Give me the Cincinnati Bengals, especially since they're facing a Nick Mullins-led Minnesota Vikings team, and the Vikings are on the road.
KG, what do you got? Bengals, Vikings. They're at Cincinnati.
Yeah, give me Jake Browning and the Bengals.
Jake Browning. What a dog. Jake Browning. I did not see that coming, huh? All right, let's move on. So we're all rolling with the Bengals. Pittsburgh traveling to Indianapolis.
Yeesh.
Yeah, I don't know who's turning into this
struggle game.
Yeah, it's a Gardner Minshew Mania versus Mitchell Trubisky. It's on the road in Indiana. Yeah, give me Pittsburgh here.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. I know they've looked so bad, but their defense is what it is. So I think their defense will play much better this week, and I just don't see Tomlin losing 2 in a row. But I could be completely wrong. Give me the Steelers.
God, I got to go with Indy just because Pittsburgh's quarterback play has just been so bad this year, because as much as I talk shit about Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky has actually been worse than him this year. And the Colts, they're a winning team. They have some talented players on defense. Yeah. And if anything else, the Gardner Minshew to Michael Pittman connection has been very, very good this year. And whether it's Jonathan Taylor or Zach Moss, the Colts have ran the ball pretty effectively. Give me the Colts.
What about you, KG?
I got faith in Mike Tomlin still. They're going to pull out a win. It's going to be ugly, 14-10 probably, but give me the Steelers.
14.
Nick says, Jeff, they already lost 2 in a row. My bad. They won't lose 3 in a row. They won't lose 3 in a row, Nick. I promise you.
Tomlin gets
Could
his
be wrong.
first losing season.
Yeah, we'll see. Mitch Trubisky, I don't know if he can revive that, but like KG said, man, I got confidence in Mike Tomlin. So my apologies, Nick. I mean 3 in a row, not 2 in a row. All right, let's move on here. Next game, Chicago at Cleveland. Joe Flacco's season. Yeah, enough said. Give me Flacco. Rolling with the Dago this week. At home.
I'm going to go with the Bears. I think that they're a team that's finding their stride a little bit. I think that it's going to be more of an ugly style of game. But as good as the Browns' defense has been for the most part this year, they have given up some big games. And I think this is one where Justin Fields gives the Browns a little bit of problems. And we all know the Bears' defense is finding its form and coming into their own. So give me the Bears in a close win. I think they're a team that finishes the season with 7 or 8 wins.
KG?
It's a tough one. Give me the Browns, man. I'm going Joe Flacco, man. He's going to double up this week.
That's fair.
Yeah, Flacco, baby. Let's go. Moving on. Tampa Bay visiting Green Bay. I'm going to go with the Packers here. I think after last week, Jordan Love, they had 2 turnovers as an offense. I think they bounced back this week. The Packers have been playing pretty well during the stretch. And I just think Tampa Bay coming down. It's going to be a close game. I mean, I know they're coming off 2 wins back-to-back, but something's got to give. I'm going to go with Green Bay Packers at home here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Packers as well. The Packers are a desperate team, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, despite having a 6-7 record, are not quite as desperate because they're still probably going to win their damn division even if they win 7 or 8 games. So give me the Packers. They're playing for their playoff lives, and they're at home.
Clean sweep, guys. Give me the Packers, too.
There you go. Packers. Moving on. Houston travels to Tennessee. C.J. Stroud, he's not gonna. I don't know if Nico Collins is playing this week. Definitely won't have Tank Dell. So
don't matter.
If you have Noah Brown in fantasy, start him. Yeah, don't matter.
Don't matter.
Yeah, at Tennessee, Will Levis versus C.J. Stroud. Will Levis, man, that Tennessee with Will Levis, they got a little spark going. DeAndre Hopkins, Derrick Henry, the defense is playing decent. They signed Bohanna from the Lions.
They did.
He's the difference. Give me Tennessee.
100% the difference.
No, I'm going to go with Tennessee here. Yeah, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm going against C.J. Stroud. I'm a big fan of C.J., but I'm going to go with Booner and Will Levis here. They're playing well, man, and I think Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, he's got a full complement of weapons. I think not having Tank Dell, and I don't know if Nico Collins is playing, I think that'll affect him. So
is Nico Collins playing?
I'm not 100% certain, but I know he was hurt. He left the game last week.
Oh,
so
man.
Give me the Tennessee Titans.
There's just so much uncertainty with the Houston Texans right now. They're coming off of a terrible loss against the Jets. I honestly think this is one where they're kind of depleted, and the Tennessee Titans actually win this game pretty comfortably. I mean, Will Levis is playing well, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if Derrick Henry has a big game. Give me the Titans.
If C.J. Stroud goes on the road, KG, and wins if Nico Collins isn't playing, his number 1 and 2 wide receiver.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past him.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I think Will Levis regresses this week. He's a disgrace to coffee. Give me the Houston Texans.
Yeah, that's fair.
Definitely a disgrace to
coffee. I can't hate that. Zach Wilson traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, I think he's questionable. We'll see if he plays. Oh, you know what, guys? Yeah, Stroud. I think he's in concussion protocol, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, are we going to see Davis Mills?
Davis Mills season, huh?
Shit.
So you're changing your pick now?
Yeah, I got to, man.
Yeah,
give me
no
the
Stroud.
Titans in
That's
a close
problem.
one.
Yeah, he was in concussion protocol. He left early last week against the Jets.
Yeah, I'll do Titans in a close one.
Yeah, Titans. Okay, moving on. We'll go back. Zach Wilson traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. I know Tyreek Hill's questionable. Yeah, give me the Miami Dolphins still, because Zach Wilson, if history tells me anything, I don't think he has another 300-yard game. That's what history's shown. So I'm going to side with history here and go with Miami.
I'm going Jets. I don't even give a damn.
Okay.
I don't even give a damn. I think that this defense is playing very well, and they can give Tua some problems, especially if Tyreek Hill is not there. So give me the Jets, but it could blow up right in my face. But the Miami Dolphins, when they don't have Tyreek Hill, they're kind of soft. They are.
Yeah, they are.
As a whole, they're a soft organization. Give me the Jets.
Ryan Lentz says Zach Wilson legacy game again. All right.
He loves.
Throw a flag on the play.
I got to see it again. Give me the Dolphins. Don't matter who's playing. Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, show us. Like Rick Ross, man. You got to show me. Moving on. Kansas City travels to New England. Very simple. Bounce back game for Kansas City. They're winning this football game. Probably two scores.
KC, 100%.
KC, 110%.
There you go. Now, here's the matchup of the week.
Sorry about that.
Tommy Cutlets
travels
to the Superdome.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Travels to the Superdome to take on the Saints. Woo. Listen. The Saints are shaking in their boots right now. I know they are. Tommy Cutlets is traveling to your city. You better be on point. I'll tell you that. I'm telling you that. You know what? I'm going with my guy.
Of course.
I'm going with my guy, DeVito. I'm going with them. Give me the Giants.
Who's starting at quarterback for the Saints?
Derek Carr,
right?
I think.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn.
Okay.
I don't give a damn who it is. Give him Joe Montana. Give him Tom Brady. I'm going with Tommy Cutlets. How you doing? Keep it moving.
Saints, and they hold the Giants to less than 10 points, and we can stop with this Tommy Cutlets nonsense. Get him out.
I don't give a damn who it is. You could have Jesus starting at quarterback. Give me Tommy Cutlets.
Of course.
I want to see the story continue. The Saints are sleeping with the fishes. Give me the Giants.
People really, really, really love their folk heroes. Yeah, I guess I'm just not one of them.
I just appreciate greatness. And
Can't stop it, Sam.
And we're watching. You can't stop the storyline. You can't stop the Tommy DeVito train, Sam. It's
going to get whacked, man. You keep talking crazy.
You better get out the way. You better get out the way, or this train's going to smack you right in the face.
Don't get whacked.
That's actually a good point. I probably should. just not give up my location anytime. We're actually not at Dispo.
Benji says, I don't know, Jeff. Jesus is him. That's fair, to be honest with you. But I got confidence in the Cutlets. All right, let's move on here. Atlanta traveling to Carolina. I don't know who's watching this garbage game. Desmond Ritter versus Bryce Young. Yeah, I mean, Carolina, I don't give a damn. They ain't winning a football game, so give me Atlanta.
Atlanta. I think Bijan goes for $120.
The tank job continues. Give me Atlanta.
All right, there you go. Moving on. Washington traveling to Los Angeles. I'm telling you one thing, Sam Howell, Washington's been kind of struggling. I know they haven't really quite looked like the Washington of early on in the year. They've lost 4 straight. Give me the Rams. Matthew Stafford's playing well. He is. And that wide receiver core, man, they're going to cause some problems. So give me the Rams at home.
I got to go with the Rams as well. They're another team that's fighting for their playoff lives or finding their stride. And think about the Rams. They're pretty dangerous if they get into the playoffs. Stafford, Kyron Williams, Nakua, Kupp, and Aaron Donald. that's a pretty good group of players, and I think that they win this week.
Yeah, Kyron Williams, another dog. He's running the ball well. What about you, KG? Who do you got?
Triple that. Give me Stafford and the Rams. There's a big game for them. They need this. So
there you go. Moving on. San Francisco traveling to Arizona. Very easy. 49ers completely decimate Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals.
49ers.
Kyler Murray will be playing Call of Duty by halftime.
Sure. Yeah.
Like he'll just go home early, play Call of Duty. There's no reason to even continue that football game. All right, moving on. Dallas taking on Buffalo. This is a good game to me, I do believe. Because Buffalo, despite what the record is, they'll be in this game, I think, Sam. And Dallas, I think they're a team that coming off a big win last week. They have a little bit of a hangover. I think Buffalo keeps it close. Give me Buffalo on the upset. I'm going there. I don't give a damn. It's in Buffalo in December. Dallas have been playing well, but something's got to give eventually. Give me the Bills.
I've got Buffalo as well, and I have a bit of a hot take while we're at it. And Booner, you're going to appreciate this one. Buffalo not only wins today, they win out, they win the AFC East, and they go to the AFC Championship game. I think Josh Allen starts the best stretch of his NFL career this weekend against the Cowboys at home. Give me the Bills.
Buffalo's favored, which is interesting.
Yeah, Buffalo, they're a good team, and Buffalo's a tough place to play.
It's at home.
What's the line at? That's my question. Are they just getting the points because they're at home? I wonder if that's basically just like a pick 'em game. Regardless, give me the Bills. I don't give a damn if they're favored or not. I think the Bills win this game. And I think Dallas drops one.
Yeah, Bills Mafia, I think they win by a touchdown. So
All right, there you have it. Moving on. Baltimore traveling to Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence kind of banged up with that ankle injury. This could be a good game, too. It's Sunday night football. Give me the Baltimore Ravens. That Jacksonville that secondary for the Jags, man, is suspect.
Yeah.
And I know no Mark Andrews. I don't give a damn. The Ravens have been finding ways to win. The defense has to play better. I think they will. Give me the Ravens.
I got to go with the Ravens as well. As good as the Jaguars have been this year, although if they don't get it together, they're going to finish with a disappointing season. It never really has seemed like they've completely figured it out this year. I don't trust the Jaguars to win a big regular season game as much as I do the Baltimore Ravens. So give me the Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens defense comes to play. Give me the Ravens.
All right, last game, Monday Night Football before we go to break. Philadelphia taking on Seattle. They travel out to Seattle, to the West Coast. I do think Seattle's in this football game, but the Philadelphia Eagles have been destroyed the last two games. I think they're going to be highly motivated, and I think this is a bounce-back performance. I know you saw the report, A.J. Brown, spoke to Nick Sirianni. He's pissed off. Jalen Hurts' turnover problem. They're talking about it. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles on a bounce-back performance.
Yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles, they were the NFC representative in the Super Bowl last year, and they probably feel like they've gotten their manhood taken from them the last couple of weeks. And this is kind of the week where you have to put up or shut up, and especially given the fact that I believe the Bills will beat the Cowboys, the Eagles will be fighting for full control of the NFC East again, and then maybe full control of the 1 seed in the, well, probably not because the 49ers have the tiebreaker, but still, at least control of the NFC East. Give me the Eagles.
Yeah, I want the Seahawks to win this game, but it's definitely going to be a bounce back by the Eagers. Give me the Eagles.
There you have it. Really quickly, Adam Schefter just tweeted out, Tommy DeVito's agent, Sean Stellato, is being inducted today into the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame.
Already? Oh, man.
No way.
I swear to God.
Capiche?
No way.
That's not true. That can't be true.
I mean, Shefty reported it, man. Come on.
Sean Stellato, inducted into the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame. Is that an actual thing?
I didn't know until you just said it. So,
like, what?
That's crazy.
Looking up Shefty right now.
What the hell? Sam's fact checking it. What the hell? I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, it's
for sure.
agent.
Give me the Giants now.
Who else does he represent? I wonder.
Oh my!
At first,
God.
I thought it was Tommy DeVito, and I'm like, oh my God.
That's not a thing. William Rhodes says. There's no way. There's no way. All right, let's go to break. That's great news. We'll give our Lions picks out, and then we'll get to what's trending with JB Smoove when we come back. Yeah, shout out to. That is awesome, man. Tommy DeVito's next. There's no doubt about it. All right, let's get out of here. First, though, got to hear about our friends from Planet Fitness. Let me tell you about them, guys. Planet Fitness, the place to go. Cheap, $10 a month. You get all the equipment you need, all the training that you need as well. Really quickly, Griffin, I had to stop the ad read for this. Jeff should be inducted as well.
Oh, Griffin.
You know what?
What a nice
Planet
guy.
Fitness, I'm going to go work out. And then I'm going to think about that question because you might be onto something there, Griffin. I would love to be inducted into the National American, whatever the hell it is, Italian Sports Hall of Fame. But really quickly, they have everything you need. They got trainers on deck. No commitment necessary. You pay $10 a month, and you can get all the workouts you need. Planet Fitness, your fitness is essential.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists, and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
And arguing about sports made you a last-minute holiday shopper? Well, feeling more pressure than Jared Goff in the pocket behind an injured O-line? I'll tell you what, Jack Labrador has you covered. It will change your gifting game in your face, heads-up play that'll have you on the edge of your seat. It's the one deck that brings 3 games to the table. Perfect for lazy last-minute shoppers like you. Jack Labrador is the ultimate gift that keeps the holiday fun going. Scan the QR code or scan the QR code above, or go to www.jacklabrador.com to get your decks today. We're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. It's time to give our Lions predictions. Guys, put them in the chat. I'll read as many as I can get to. I'll start off, Sam. I think the Lions win tomorrow, 27-21.
Ooh.
Yep, I do. I think they put up 27 points. Denver Broncos, they've kind of forced teams to play their type of game where it's low scoring. I think the Lions at home will hit 27. I do. Right. And I do think the Lions will have a big game on the ground. I also think that. I think Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, big game from those guys. And Jared Goff, I would expect him to play a clean game. We shall see if that's true. We shall see. My confidence level has significantly decreased. But the sample size of Jared in Detroit would tell us he could correct this and get back to playing clean football. I think the O-line will keep him clean. I think the offense will put up a lot of points. And I do believe the defense will get a turnover. Well, hopefully it could be turnovers, but they got to get one this week, man. That's going to be the pathway to victory. Give me the Lions 27-21.
Okay, yes, 27-21, that is a good score. I am going to go with Lions over the Broncos 24-20, something kind of similar. I think that the Lions will be able to run the football effectively. I think they'll get an early lead, but I do think the Broncos will stay in the game. They'll be their defense will get some stops. They might force a turnover, but not one that'll be detrimental to the Lions. I think the Lions will play relatively clean football, and I think they turn the Broncos over at least once. Yeah. I guess if it's 24-20, I'd probably say they force either one Russell Wilson interception or one fumble. So give me the Lions 24-20, a close win, but in December against a team that's fighting for a division themselves. You take wins anytime you get them, and we're feeling a lot better as Lions fans going into Week 15 than we do right now.
What about you, KG?
Yeah, me and Flannel are in lockstep. I had 24-21, actually. But, yeah, pretty much everything you said. I got Riley Patterson with a walk-off victory. So.
Damn, let's go.
Right? It's got to be at least it's got to be max 40 yards, though.
It's going to be like a 27-yard field goal.
Got to be a 40-yarder, dude. You need you need some wind in that dome to help out.
Yeah, seriously.
The wind at his back for like a 20-second.
Someone's got to open up a window. But regardless, I don't hate it, KG. I don't hate it at all. Low scoring is most likely how this thing's going to go. Let's read some of these score predictions here. Let's start at the very top. I want to make sure we read everybody's. Lunchbox Hooligans, 35-21. Dat Boy Roy, 28-21. John Lord, 45-6 Lions. Okay. Wisco says Broncos 23-20. Just a Fan, Lions 31, Broncos 28. Ben Bauer, 28-24 Denver. RP, Lions 27, Broncos 17. Matt N, Lions lose 38-20. Oh, God, please no. Sir James, Lions 31, Broncos 24. Ryan Lentz, Broncos 65, Lions 14. Goff 4 picks, 4 fumbles. Jesus, Ryan, you such a troll. Joe Westfall, Lions 21-20. T-Stay Cold says Lions 34, Broncos 21. Let's see. Hunter says 35-27 Lions. Demetrius says 24-17 Lions. All right. Let's see. Sir James says Lions 2, Broncos 72. Cat's prediction. Book it.
Jesus Christ.
Lunchbox Hooligans, he says his Lions 35-21. Don Beats, 27-21. Old Jarhead says 30-21 Broncos. Let's see. T-State Cold again, 34-21. BitCon 51, Broncos 27, Lions 24. People are sleeping on the Broncos. They're about to win that division. Let's see here. Trippy Gypsy, 44-10 Lions.
Ooh.
Scientist Mustard says Lions 3-0. Wow, what a game.
Win's a win.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Lions Troll, 24-17 Lions. Eric Allen, 27-17 Lions. Victory. Let's see. Chuck Brewer says Jeff goes into the locker room at half, kicks Goff out, and leads a 35.2 second half comeback to win 69-68.
Nice.
Chuck Brewer. Hey, DeVito inspired me. You may be correct there. Big Show picks 27-9 Lions. Helbert, Lions 27-14. Brad Hendricks, the higher score will win. Detroit, Denver. That is a bar. You are no lying there. Let's see. Elgato, 10-3. Dante, 38. Lions. Broncos, 14. There you have it. Well, Charles McLean says Vildor with the game-stealing pick tomorrow. Lions, 2017. Okay.
That's not as crazy as you may think. He's getting some playing time. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
They did.
Especially when you're trying to lead a game-tying or game-winning drive, you're going to put the ball up for grabs a little bit more. And maybe Kendall Vildor is just the fortunate beneficiary of that.
There you go. Ben Bauer, if Aaron Glenn gives up 30, he has to be fired. All right. Danny G says 7-3 Lions. There you have it, guys. David E. Walker, Lions 24-17. Lions sweep their second straight division.
Okay.
You know what's funny? That comment about if Aaron Glenn gives up 30, he should be fired. I obviously don't agree, but that would be another drop in the bucket of him maybe getting fired at the end of the year if it continues to be a trend. That would be very disappointing if the Lions give up 30.
John Parker, 21-17 Broncos. Broncos defense is going to limit the Lions immensely. Okay, well, there you have it. Hoof-hearted, 41-34 Broncos shootout. Wow, okay, there you have it. All right, let's go to break. When we get back, we'll get to what's trending with JB and much more. But first, we got to hear about our friends from Premier Pet.
Yes, when it comes to your pet, don't settle. I don't settle when it comes to my golden retriever, Jake, and my orange cat, Milo. Give your pet the best like I give my pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, lowest prices, and curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. Visit their website at premierpetsupply.com.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
How would you like to win a $100K Vegas getaway? Take your friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and you're entered to win. Register at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy Cintron at your local Meijer store. Cintron, the healthier energy drink. Of course, look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself with Cintron. drinkcintron.com/Vegas. We're back. The Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Let's get to it. What's trending with JB Smooth? We do this every day, 9:40. JB tells us what's trending, and we've had some interesting things. We got to see Brock Lesnar's daughter, who is Brock Lesnar Jr. JB, what do you got for us today?
Oh, man. It's been a minute, I know, but I got a couple videos for you guys. So, one, I feel like this is one that D-Mac would definitely be proud of in the sense that, you know what, you just got to start them young. See, this just
I would rather watch this, JB, than this. I'll just watch kids throw down.
What do you guys think about this? To start them young with the fighting.
Well, this is. Chad Fisher says they got more fight than the Pistons. I mean, that's fair. As a parent, I don't like this, but as a viewer, I love this. Like, if I'm a parent and my kid's throwing down and a bunch of kids are swinging at each other, I'm like, okay, well, what? Probably don't approve of it. Yeah, like, I don't approve of it, but at the same time, like, if I'm in the stands, I'm like, punch that kid in the nose. Knock him out. Like, I'm over there. I'm probably making the situation worse, JB.
You're a proud parent. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, honestly, you know what? F it. If I'm a parent, my son better whoop ass, or I'm whooping his ass. So, you know, that's how it would work. That's what my dad would do. If I was out there fighting in a hockey rink, if I'm fighting on the ice, if I get my ass kicked, I'm getting my ass kicked twice when I get home.
Sam, what you think?
So you better put up a fight. Screw it. I love it. I approve of this message.
I hate to make this super simplistic, but I just love, young people playing sports. It just shows that the younger generation is going to carry on this greatness of American athletics for many, many generations to come. Just if you got a young kid, get him into sports. There's only good things can come from it. So, bravo. I don't necessarily know if I like melees between kids. That's something you don't see every day, but they're passionate.
Yeah, they're competitive.
Yeah,
I mean, John Lord says, throw an elbow. I'm with you. Throw an elbow, throw a knee. Like, you know.
Do something. Do something out there.
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
I'm just kidding. All right,
So,
that's funny, JB.
I got one more video for you guys, and I know I'm a little bit late on it, but it's the Draymond thing. And viewer discretion advised if you're squeamish, but shout out to the UFC as well, too, for helping me. And of all the superlative.
Yeah,
Joe Rogan. Oh, my God. It's over.
Okay.
It's over.
Like,
it's over. It's all over.
Joe Rogan. I love Joe Rogan. I'll say this, JB, about that whole thing. Like, there was a point in time where I would come to the defense of Draymond and be like, well, you know, try and explain it. I got nothing for that. That's bullshit, dude.
So are you guys for or against the suspension that has transpired with him?
I mean, I like how the league's been kind of like you see Giannis getting in Tyrese Halliburton's face. You got Draymond swinging. I mean, I like a little bit of that in the NBA. I do. I hate that it's kind of the NBA's gone away from it. But at the same time, dude, like that's obvious as shit. That's a cheap shot. So Draymond, you can't get away with that. I didn't mean to when you did a spinning back fist to his face. Like that was clearly on purpose. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can make that argument. Sam, that's clear as day. It was on purpose.
Well,
clear as day.
Even with this video, kind of making a joke about it, like he's in UFC and Joe Rogan is going, oh, Draymond Green has been enabled his entire career to just basically do whatever the fuck he wants. This guy is unhinged. This is like his 1,000,000th offense at this point. He couldn't stop kicking and punching nuts in the playoffs, so he got himself suspended. In the NBA freaking finals, he stomped on Domantas Sabonis. He choked Rudy Gobert, and now he does this to Yusuf Nurkic, and there are still people out there that defend this clown. At this point, Draymond Green, I would like to see him never play an NBA game again. I'm not saying he should be suspended forever, but he has jumped the shark so much. I fucking hate that guy.
I don't hate
right
the
now.
indefinite. I don't understand the indefinite suspension. I don't get that. Like, what is he going to go to therapy and they're going to talk through his problems and he's going to come back? He's going to smack someone in the face again. Like,
hey, real quick, how many games do you think he gets though?
20.
That's aggressive. I mean, it's tough because he's been suspended multiple times this year. I'd give him like 5. I don't know.
I feel like he'll be back after All-Star break.
Oh, my God. You think it's like that?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I mean, he has to go to counseling and all this other stuff like that. But I will tell you guys one thing. There's only one man that can save Draymond right now.
Who is it?
That is Coach Carter.
Oh yes.
Mr. Green, you owe me 10,000 push-ups.
Coach Carter.
That's such a great movie.
Yeah, it is a great movie. I think Coach Carter, you know what, JB, I'm with you. I think he's the only guy that probably could save Draymond because Steve Kerr clearly can't. No one's holding him accountable.
I'm not your teacher. I'm your coach. when he got in like Timo Cruz and just strained his ass, I'm like, let's fucking go.
Coach Carter could definitely have he could definitely put. They should. You know what they should? They should call Samuel L. Jackson, bring him out, talk to Draymond. I bet you his ass will be back there. That therapy. Just talk to Samuel L. Jackson. That should be the therapy.
I don't know how well that would work.
And he could play the Coach Carter role. He'll be back in 5 games.
That man saved their basketball team.
That's what I'm saying.
He saved their academic future. He saved everything.
Yep.
He saved Channing Tatum's future. He was on the team.
Channing
Tatum's future.
He was on the team. He was on.
Channing Tatum in this situation.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum in this situation is Klay Thompson. All right, he needs to be saved too.
Ooh.
All right, because he's been playing. Klay's getting benched late in the fourth quarter. Like they need Coach Carter, man. I think the Pistons need Coach Carter. To be honest with you.
Honestly, yeah, that would probably work. But that's it for what's trending with JB today. Hopefully, we'll have a lot more next week.
I want to get to appreciate you, JB. Good stuff today. I
You
want to
go
get
to every class and you will sit in the front row of. Okay, sorry.
Shirt and a tie.
Shirt and a tie.
Someone asked, I think it was Eric Allen, how long will you guys be here at Dispo? It's only the morning show in Big D Energy.
Yes.
We'll probably leave a little earlier because all of us are sick. We're all fighting through different things, so we'll probably leave a little earlier. We don't want to get anybody sick. But Big D Energy will be here, Eric, so if you pull up, they'll be here till 1. So if you can't make it by then I just wouldn't come today. I don't want to screw you over. But if you can make it before then, you can meet people. You can meet people for sure, Eric Allen. So I want to make sure you know that before you drive out here. Just letting you know. I'm going to get some of these comments. Funky says Tatum would have taken a day off of his suspension. Broder says Channing Tatum breakout movie, best feature alongside Ashanti since Ja Rule. That's fair. That's fair, Broder.
Oh, that's right. Ashanti was in the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right. About to ruin that guy's future is what she was about to do.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Pump mid-grade Lions fan. Serious question. Would Sam's wife let him sleep with Hutch?
What says, let me sleep? What? Come on. Come on. No, I would not. I personally would not sleep
Hey,
with
we know how
Hutch.
much you love pressures.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
God damn it.
Hey, he'll put the pressure on you, Sam. Let's go to break. When we come back, we'll get in the mailbag.
Jesus.
Get your questions ready. I said it. I'm going to tell you about Hammond Pub, though, really quickly. Have you ever wanted to be at a bar where you're known as a regular? I'll tell you. We just have the place for you. It's Hammond Pub. Join Woodward Sports, the post-game show. We do shows over at Tinkin Road at Hammond Pub every other week. It depends. I don't know if we're there this week, JB. I don't think we are.
We are not.
We're not this week, but in the future we will be. Check them out. Hamlin Pub, they got everything you need. They got delicious wings. All that and more. Hamlin Pub.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live this Saturday night for the official Lions VIP tailgate party. It's at Eastern Market in Shed number 5, and it is going to be a bash starting at, I believe, 5 or 5:30 p.m. until game time. The official Lions tailgate is back and better than ever. How would you like to pregame it with Woodward Sports and be treated like a VIP? Food, beverages, and entertainment all included. Get your tickets online today at bullseyeeventgroup.com or win some from Woodward Sports today. Just subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on IG, and direct message Lions VIP.
These comments, man, they're killing me. Andrew Klingerman says Sam sits to pee. Can we get a confirmation on that? You do not sit to pee.
I do not. Jesus. Well, that's just not very nice. Do you sit to pee?
I do not.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Andrew Klingerman.
There you go.
I rubber and you're glue. Whatever you say to me sticks back to I'm being a child now.
Oh, that's funny, man. Okay. Okay, back on track here. Danny G, mailbag. How much pressure would Hutch put on Sam?
Oh, well, that's,
all right,
that's just uncalled for.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
Trippy Gypsy, how many sacks will Hutch record on Sam this weekend? Well, okay, well, that's kind of like change that question in the game on Saturday. Unless you want to answer the first part.
No, I do not.
Okay, all right.
None on the first part. In the game, I'll go with 1.
All right.
I'll go with 1.
So you're not taking any sacks from Hutch this weekend?
I am not. No. No.
I'm being a douchebag. All right,
it's okay. It's all right. The chat started it.
I'm being a douchebag. All right, let's go. Don Beats, mailbag. I think Sam would rather be with JJ than Hutch. You appreciate both of those guys. You have a preference? JJ over Hutch. What's your like Sam like defense like which player would you defend?
You know what? I will. If we're talking about football, Aiden Hutchinson is my favorite Michigan player ever. JJ is one of my favorites, but Hutch, especially what he's done in the NFL for the Lions, I mean, you couldn't write a script quite like that. So definitely Aiden Hutchinson. He's one of my favorite athletes, like in the world right now.
Ben Bauer, mailbag. Which number 9 gets retired first, Stafford or the greatest wide receiver ever, J-Mo? That's a great question, Ben.
Neither. How about that? Neither.
I think J-Mo is already in the Ring of Honor. His career has really even started
Hey,
yet.
some people already believe that. He's already in the Hall of Fame.
Eduardo says, would you rather prioritize getting Hutch help or a true shutdown corner?
Ooh.
Can both be true? I mean, I think both, if you could. But if you had to pick one, I would say I think pass rush is more important, to be honest with you. So I would say getting another pass rusher, but you need both. You need a corner and an edge rusher.
I would say pass rusher, just because if you can not give the quarterbacks time to throw, it doesn't matter if you have. I mean, honestly, I think that's one of the things that's given Cam Sutton some trouble is that he just has to cover for so long. I think if you give that defensive line some more help, and maybe James Houston will provide that for the record, it'll make Cam Sutton even better because I do believe he's a good corner. He just has had a bit of a disappointing season, especially as of late, but I don't think it's all his fault.
Let's see here. Jesse, mailbag. Jeff, JB, you guys ready for the UFC this weekend? And who do you got in the main and co-main events? Oof. JB, I'm hyped for this weekend. I know the Lions game's on Saturday, but I'm still going to be watching both at the same time.
Yeah, that's going to be a little difficult. We'll definitely have to be at the bar, kind of keep an eye on both, you know.
Yeah, if we're going, who do I got in at least the main event? I've been going back and forth on this. I hate Colby Covington, but he's like an underdog. He's like plus money.
I can't go against Colby, so
I don't want to go against Colby, but man just talked about Leon's father who got shot, so I feel like Leon's like even more motivated now.
That's a bad move.
Like it's to me it's tough. I'm gonna go Colby just because I think he's just due. Like the dude's he's got to get a belt eventually, and I think this matchup, maybe Leon, man, he gets in his head. Give me Colby. Give me Colby Covington this weekend.
Yeah, give me Colby as well, man. I know he said some inappropriate things, but I think it's all just hype up, getting around towards this fight, trying to get more pay-per-view sales. I know he probably doesn't really mean it in his deepest of hearts, but still at the same time, give me Colby.
There you have it. Funky says, mailbag, if we told Sam J-Mo went to Michigan and Hutch went to Bama, do you think he would defend J-Mo and shit on Hutch?
Jesus Christ. Okay, one Funky Lions fan who's batting a 0 today and for the last month or so. Let me just say this, and I'm going to answer this seriously. Do I have a pro-Hutch bias? Of course I do. He's, like I said, my favorite Michigan player ever, one of the best defensive players in the history of the school. But that doesn't change the fact that Aiden Hutchinson has been he's been productive in his NFL career. He did lead all rookies in sacks. He is having a good sophomore year, even though the sacks don't always reflect it, but he is having a good season. Jamison Williams just hasn't produced. And at some point, I just would like my number 12 overall pick to play like one, and he hasn't done it yet. So maybe I do have a pro-Hutch bias, but I don't have an anti-Jamison Williams bias. I was happy when they drafted him. I just haven't seen anything yet. Do you know when it all started, actually? Do you want like a Jamison Williams, if you want to call it hate origin story? I was doing a show with Neil Rule the day where Jamison Williams' suspension was handed down. It was a 6-game suspension. And Neil Rule just brushed it off and didn't criticize him at all for it. And I'm like, it's a cult. The cult of J-Mo. It's a cult.
Yeah, well, you know, to Neil's defense, which I can't believe I'm saying that, I think his argument was like, he doesn't lose any talent. He'll be back in 6 games.
But that's...
So what do you want him to say? He's a bust now because he's suspended?
No, but just to be like, J-Mo, what the fuck, bro? There wasn't even any of that. I don't see gambling suspensions handed out like candy over the league, acting like it was the most bullshit suspension of all time. Then why isn't everybody else getting it? That's all I'm saying. And fine, his suspension is over. He's playing now. I get that. But that was where just, I don't know. It's
because J-Mo's perfect.
Most people don't get. Oh my God.
I'm kidding. He's the golden child. All right, we'll get out of here, guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're over in Romeo at Dispo, the Dispo Mall, the beautiful Dispo Mall. Come check it out if you need to re-up, get some cannabis here. They got you. People are already flooded in shopping. From the boys here in the Morning Woodward Show, Jeff Iafrate, Sam Flannel, JB, KG, we appreciate your presence. Have a great weekend, and don't forget, check out Big D Energy. They're coming up next. They'll be here as well. Of course, Ermanni Networks with Maz, Heavyweights, Woodward Nights. Check out the rest of the programming, and then don't forget Saturday, pregame show, 5:30, 7:30, watch party, postgame show, all that and more. I'll be doing a postgame show on Bleacher Report as well, so you can check me out on that. Appreciate you guys. Deuces. Have a great weekend. Have a blessed weekend, and we'll catch you guys Monday or Saturday for me. Deuces.